Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. I'm back. I'm back in my home. No longer freezing my butt off in with the outdoor shed I was in. But yeah, you know what? Ethereum is doing very, very well. Altcoins are doing very, very well. Bitcoin is still, relatively speaking, doing well, just holding right under $60,000. That's what I was referring to this morning. But overall, I want to talk about ETH because a lot of people are very excited about ETH, wants to know how high Ethereum will go. So let's discuss what's driving this rally. How high can it go by end of 2021? And I guess, should you hold some in your portfolio? These are the main things I want to talk about. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. 2 streams every day, 11 a.m. and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. This week, obviously, I was traveling, so hanging out with my family, so things were a little bit different. I had 4 interviews lined up, one after another, after another, after another. It seems like a lot of you guys enjoy that. I plan on doing a lot more interviews in the future. I want to incorporate live interviews, but I have to figure out how to do so. It's a little bit tricky with sound and Zoom and all that stuff. So, yeah, and let's do this. Let's do this. Let's not waste any more time. Those of you guys in the chat, welcome. DS said he got fooled by my April Fool's video. I don't know how you can get fooled. I even said at the beginning, hey, it's April 1st. It's April Fool's. For those of you guys that don't live in the US, you're not familiar, this is a day where people joke about stuff that you don't take seriously. I even said that at the beginning of the videos before I started. Yet, people still didn't understand what that meant. So it still boggles my mind how I could give the warning right ahead and still have people say, oh, I didn't get it. You pissed me off or whatever. I guess they're just Litecoin holders. That's all. That's all. All right. Here we go. So right now, Bitcoin is at 59,400. So like I said this morning, we're trapped under 60,000 for Bitcoin, and that's quite okay. Just like before, we were trapped under 50,000. It seemed like Bitcoin could never break it. Well, it did, and now we're trapped under 60,000, and pretty soon we'll break it and head higher, right? So there is no concerns for me right now about Bitcoin. A lot of people keep looking at it. I don't know who they're listening to. They keep coming out with these predictions. Like this morning, people are like, oh, look, there's going to be a doomsday drop, and I sold everything. Where did it go? It didn't happen, right? So it's like right now, I just feel like there's too many newcomers that are so worried about day-to-day movement. You know, a couple hundred point swing here and there on Bitcoin. I mean, the important thing to remember is it's above 50,000. It's at 60,000. It's go ahead higher. So right now, what you want to do is just hodl it. Just hodl your Bitcoin. It's as simple as that, right? But while you're hodling, holding Bitcoin, right? Altcoins are doing fantastic, which is why, Brian, I appreciate it. I guess you have a good sense of humor, like I thought most of my audience do. But, while Bitcoin is holding, altcoins are doing fantastic, including Ethereum for one. A lot of people seem to think that Ethereum was somehow being held down, like there was price suppression or something. Well, it's formed a new high, so obviously that's not the case, right? If you look at Ethereum's chart, it is just flying high. Just keeps going up and up and up and up, right? This is what we want to see. They did have like a resistance, I think right around here, about 19.6. You could just say 2,000, right? You could see there was a pretty big drop here. Not really, but there was a drop, and then there's another drop here, and finally, boom, it's right back up. And that's because there's a lot of things going on right now with Ethereum. So let's do this. So what is driving this up right now? Well, the article, Ether jumps all-time high of 2,074, right? Let's start with this article. But you can see right here, I think this is a big thing. This is a big thing that people missed. This came out a few days ago. And that is Visa partner up with Crypto.com, and they are starting to settle their payments from around the world utilizing the Ethereum network. Now, this is pretty big. Visa, remember, not too long ago, said very bad things about Ethereum and Bitcoin and everything else out there, right? But now they have to jump in the game. So they recently said they're going to partner up with partners and banks and help people buy crypto, buy Bitcoin. But not only that, they're going to utilize it to settle transactions. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to change my setting. Good thing I looked, because I've been away for too long. So sorry about that. Thanks for a reminder. But yeah, so now I lost my train of thought. But this is a big deal. So not only are they helping people buy crypto and Bitcoin, but they're also utilizing Ethereum network. Even though Ethereum network is really, I would say, not a good network right now with the congestion. But if you're someone like Visa and you're trying to settle, 10 million, 100 million, $1 billion or whatever, it doesn't really matter if they're paying $30, because it's still a whole lot cheaper than what the traditional ways they do it, right? With all these bank transfers and ACH. I don't know if they even use ACH. That's probably silly. No, but there's other ways to do it with using Swift or something like that. But they're testing out Ethereum network. So this is obviously a big boost. It adds a lot of credibility to the network, shows that if someone like Visa could use them, then obviously anyone could use them. But I think this is going to evolve. Remember, they partner up with Crypto.com to do this, and Crypto.com is coming out their own chain. So this can evolve where Visa moves these payments to Crypto.com's chain. Could happen, or maybe they're just going to stick with Ethereum. So this is obviously a big deal. This was announced, a few days ago, but people didn't really connect the dots. But this is definitely one of the drivers, I think, why Ethereum went up. Also, another thing is, let's not forget Grayscale. Grayscale Ethereum Trust is blooming. It's blowing up. I haven't checked this in a while. You can see that they added all these new tokens, right? Like, for example, Basic Attention Token, Decentraland, Filecoin, LivePeer. But take a look at Ethereum. Bitcoin Trust is stuck right around 39 billion, but Ethereum went up to 6.4 billion. Obviously, that is also taking into account Ethereum going up in price, but they have been adding, which shows that institutional interest is there. It's growing, and there's a lot of institutions that want to buy it because they see Ethereum not being a competitor to Bitcoin like I see it. Bitcoin didn't realize the greatest store of value ever, but in terms of the decentralized smart contract, blockchain, who better than Ethereum, because they're the big dog right now, right? So they're putting a lot of money and faith into Ethereum right now. And remember this story, Meitu. This is, I think, an Asian company. They decided to copy MicroStrategy and put a lot of their reserves into Bitcoin. But not only that, Ethereum. They actually own more Ether than Bitcoin, which is very, very, very odd. I guess not odd, but it's odd versus all the other companies that's doing this. But they also see the same thing. They see Ethereum not competing with Bitcoin, and they serve two different purposes. So you do have public trade companies that's now paying attention also to Ethereum. So not only do you have institutional investors and public traded companies, so obviously this is also having effect. It's all adding up. It doesn't mean that one small thing is driving the entire price movement, but it all adds up, right? And also, let's not forget that almost every single DeFi project and now NFT projects or NFT marketplaces is all riding on Ethereum. For example, OpenSea. OpenSea is the biggest NFT marketplace right now, and guess what? It is on Ethereum. And same thing with Rarible, right? I didn't even know Rarible's this high in terms of users. This is measuring users, but Rarible is number one, OpenSea is number two, and then you got a whole bunch in here that's all, DeFi related or NFT related. Obviously, this is having a problem, causing congestion and so forth. But the good thing is, most of these are still using a ERC20 token, yet they're utilizing some layer 2 solution to kind of free themselves up from congestion. So it does help Ethereum in a way that they're kind of still locked in with ERC20 or some kind of EVM compatible chain. However, their congestion is kind of loosening a little bit. I wouldn't say that's actually the real case because there's still a lot of users coming in here. So, but anyways, yeah, this is also definitely driving things up. When basically everything hot right now, every single dApp is riding on Ethereum. Obviously, this is having a big effect too. And you have celebrities now. And I just covered this yesterday. I didn't agree with Mark Cuban. Charles, I appreciate that. I really do. And I'm going to talk about GeoCoin at the end of the stream or in Q&A, but I appreciate that. Mark Cuban also talked about how he owns a lot of Ethereum out of the blue. Before, he didn't want to own anything because he thought bananas were better and you could eat bananas. Now, doing 180 and saying Bitcoin's not so bad, Ethereum's not so bad. I think it's the closest thing to a true currency. I don't agree with that. However, it shows that just like institutions and public trade companies, he's coming around, right? Realizing this is the big dog, so why not? Why not hold a lot of it? So there's a lot of things that's driving Ethereum up right now. Also, from a technical standpoint, because of this price increase, this price bump, you know what happened? Well, take a look at this. A lot of shorters, they're starting to get liquidated, and that's what we want to see. Now, all the red is the longs, so that's not good, obviously. Obviously, we know that the whales are trying to liquidate longs as much as possible, but today, look at this. Pretty darn good. You got 98 millions of shorts liquidated and 21 millions long, so obviously today's jump had an effect on the shorters, and that's what we want to see. We want to see more shorts get liquidated or have to cover, and that could drive things up too. So I'm glad to see finally we have some winning days now when it comes to shorts versus long liquidation. So of course you have this too. And then there's a big thing that's coming up in July, right? So we have 3 months left, and we'll see if this goes through. But Vitalik and team, not only are they working on roll-ups in terms of helping with congestion, that's been delayed a little bit, but also they're coming out where they're proposing EIP 1559, which will help somewhat with gas fees and congestion. So they're proposing something that basically will implement almost a token burning to the ecosystem, so that gas prices is dictated by certain levels, and it's more predictable for dApp makers and users, and also there's a deflationary aspect built into it. Now, the miners do not like that idea because miners are making money hand over fist right now. They're making a ton of money right now, but we'll see. Vitalik is proposing this. So come July, are they going to try to fork off, try to gain 51% of do it 50%, control of the network and claim they're still Ethereum while Vitalik and others are, forking off? I don't know. It could be contentious, but I think overall as a community, they go hash this out. Unless you have someone like Roger Ver that comes in and just forces a contention fork. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think they'll work it out. Overall, I think this will be worked out, and of course, this will be very positive for Ethereum. But we'll see. We'll see if the miners really try to break off from it. It would be silly because look at Ethereum Classic. It is just not doing well at all, right? So if you have another Ethereum fork, those miners just go be mining and not be very profitable. So I don't think that's going to happen. So those are the reasons why. Those are the reasons why Ethereum is doing very well. Obviously, I don't think this is the top. People always ask me, where do you think Ethereum's going to go at the end of the year? TK, appreciate that. People are like, okay, it's at 2,000, so where is it going to go? Well, look at Bitcoin. I always judge everything based on Bitcoin's price because Bitcoin is still top dog. It's leading the space, although Bitcoin dominance has been coming down quite a bit. It's at 57, below 57%, which is a big drop. big drop, and that's because you have a lot of things flying. Like even Polkadot is up 17%. You know, it's been really stagnant. A lot of people have been saying, oh, why is Polkadot moving? We'll look at it now. Things always come in waves. Binance coin recently was pumping, right? So obviously it's a number 3. Polkadot, it would not surprise me if it pumps some more. Maybe it becomes number 3. And then maybe it's Cardano's turn to pump. Everything comes in waves. So you don't really want to like kind of just ditch it because it doesn't move for a week or so, right? People complain about Chainlink. Well, look at Chainlink is up 9% today. So with that said, Bitcoin dominance is coming down, but Bitcoin is still the leader, the top dog, right? So as long as Bitcoin continues to go up and carries the market, I have no doubt all these altcoins, especially the big caps, they're going to follow and possibly have even a greater gain, a multiplier. So Bitcoin has, let's say, 10x growth from here. You know what? Ethereum could have 10x as well, and possibly have even more than 10x, because there are days or weeks or months or periods where Ethereum just moves faster. There are certain times it doesn't, but there's a lot of times it does. Like right now, this past 7 days, it's up 23% versus Bitcoin's 8%, right? So Bitcoin, it goes up 10x. It could go 10x. It could probably go higher than 10x, which would give it 20,000, 21,000 plus by the end of the year. But of course, what if Bitcoin doesn't go up 10x? What if Bitcoin goes up 2x? Let's just say it goes up 2x. Let's just say, for argument's sake, it tops out at like 120,000 by the end of the year, which I think is very conservative, but let's just say it does. If it does, well, you know what? Ethereum, you times it by 2, it'll be 4,200, 4,300. And can it go higher than that? 4,500, 5,000? I think that's very realistic. So just depends on where Bitcoin ends up at the end of the year. But with everything I've said, with institutional adoption, public traded company adoption, with big centralized entities like Visa, that's also utilizing it, and also all the things that's happening with the dApps, so like DeFi and NFTs and everything else that's riding on top of Ethereum, it's definitely not going to go away anytime soon. It has that network effect, and I think it's going to continue to go higher. So there you go. Should you hold Ethereum? Well, if you're following the 50-25-25 rule, 25% is big caps, right? So you could definitely fill that 25% portion of your portfolio with Ether, with ETH. And then you can also fill it with BNB and DOT and ADA and others. You know, there's a lot of big caps these days. Theta is still one I believe in. They've been stalling a little bit. Remember what I said? If something stalls for a little bit, its turn comes and it goes up, right? Just like Filecoin. Filecoin has been going up like astronomically to the moon. It did become a big cap, but now it's coming down a little bit, right? So can Filecoin hold above 10 billion and still stay a big cap? Quite possibly, and who knows? Others may catch up, right? So yeah, it's definitely a good hold. As long as you have the good strategy, you're gonna be good. All right, so now I'm gonna turn to you guys for some Q&A, and I missed a lot. Matthew asked, thoughts on a geocoin? I heard the guy behind it is a diamond-handed stud. I concur with that, and it's really built for people that roughen their hands with diamonds and chisel their teeth with FUD. You know, that's what geocoin is all about. I see people won't give up talking about SafeMoon. What else is there? What other questions? Sorry, I missed some super chats. You know what? Yeah, I can't control it because sometimes they go on for a little bit too long. How to file a legal case against a coin? GSX APL. What is GSX APL? Apollo? Oh, Apollo and their new gold back coin. I don't know. It just depends on what happened, first of all. And I guess you just go to your courthouse and ask them how, right? If a personal case or a statewide case or federal case, I don't know how that works. I really don't. But what I want to know what happened. Zubir asked, what do you think about Origin protocol? I think Origin is pretty good. So Origin is the one that's decentralized they're coming out decentralized marketplaces. Like they're coming out decentralized Shopify, but they have gotten into they got into NFTs recently. So you can see right there, right on top, interested in running an NFT. So they've gotten into NFTs recently. They hooked up with some musician that's really popular, done really well. So they're kind of transitioning into NFTs, but they're really all about like everything, creating a marketplace that you can interact and sell to your fans, not just fans, just anyone that's shopping. So yeah, I like it. Thoughts on DeFi Pulse's index potential? I mean, I used to show DeFi Pulse all the time. And, I mean, I don't know what you mean by potential. The potential is it continues to show it could become a CMC, right? Even though CMC doesn't look very sexy, it's the biggest one. They sold to Binance for I don't know how many billions. So if DeFi Pulse continues to grow, becomes the main site that everyone uses, then yeah, the potential is huge. But right now, they're just listing Ethereum-based ones, right? So you have DeFi Station, which is for Binance Smart Chain DeFi, but I don't see why they can't expand to everything. But right now, they're just stuck showcasing Ethereum stuff. What else is there? BDC is the birth on ETH, the Rhino's back. I guess that's a good way to look at it. I think. I don't know. What's your favorite 25 million market cap or less project? I don't believe I have one anymore. The ones that I supported have gone up more than that. Like BPro, was under 10 million. Let's see where it is. It's at 47 million, so it's not really there. I don't have one that's under 25 million, to be honest. I think BPro is the smallest one that I really like. Nulls is doing well, holding above $1. I said, yeah, they were at like 40 million not too long ago, maybe even less, 30 million. But Alex, I can't answer more than that. I mean, I don't have one. Sorry. Have I heard of Viet? Dylan asks. Was associated with IBM Watson, very small market cap, just got listed on KuCoin. You know what? I think I have heard of that. I think I don't know if I came across it. Someone told me to look at it. AI services in cooperation with IBM, intelligence services empowered by the first VFAA regulated digital asset. Legal assistant use cases. I don't know. I mean, IBM Watson, I guess I trust because, hey, if it could play chess, it should be able to do anything, right? But I don't know about utilizing this for other things. Oh, yeah, I remember. This is like a bot thing. But I guess you could utilize the bot for any cases like legal and anything, contracts or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. IBM partnership is definitely huge. But I don't know how sexy like a AI driven bot is, to be honest. So maybe. Yearn Finance. Yearn Finance has been around for a while. Created by Andrew Crony. And he's created a lot of DeFi projects. Yearn also bought, or I should say merged with Sushi and really legitimized them. And there's rumors that there will be a Grayscale trust of Yearn. So I think Yearn is good. But the problem is they've been pumped too much. They were pumped by Arthur Hayes. And you know what? And they have also been hacked before twice. So that's really holding them back. Statter. I'm guessing it is very, very early. Unleash the power of your NFT assets. It's an open source peer-to-peer lending platform for NFT assets. So you could stake your NFTs at collateral and borrow against it? Wow. That's actually a new concept. But how do you judge what it's worth? That's I gotta say I like this idea a lot, but I don't know how you can really judge what your CryptoKitty is worth or what anything else is worth that you're staking. Right? Because every single one is different. Just because you have a CryptoKitty doesn't mean it's worth X amount, because some are worth thousands and some are worth, hundreds or tens of dollars. So I don't know. But that's actually a pretty interesting concept, I gotta say. I'm gonna try to do more research on that one. Can you look at LGCY? They had some positive news come out this week. Okay. Relatively small cap on Uniswap. Supernova. It's a layer 1 proof of stake decentralized network. It can handle a lot of transactions and for very cheaply. Okay, but what does it do? So their token was the ERC20 token. Now they're riding on mainnet. Book at Travala with, okay, that's just a currency. I don't know. I don't see anything really impressive with this. Basically, it's ultra fast or supposedly fast network with a token, but I don't see anything that really stands out. I mean, I don't know what the positive news is, but there's a lot of promising blockchains out there, a lot. So FM Gallery. DAO-based distribution platform for NFT artworks. Continue to release physical and virtual crypto artworks on our blockchain. Okay. So they're a DAO created to buy NFTs to put on their network. And then what do? Do they sell it? So with their token, with the NFTs, you can trade. You can, track, authenticate, of course, those things. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sold on this. To be quite honest, there's just so many NFT marketplaces. There's so many. I don't know how to judge them anymore besides the ones I know of already, like OpenSea and Rarible, and you have like Ecomi and even like Terra Virtua. There's so many, and there's other ones, ARNkey that people bring up. There's so many out there. I don't think they're all going to. IBM Watson is just the API for Viet. Okay, so that makes more sense. And that also takes a lot from away. So I have to do more research on Viet. But yeah, I don't know. There's so many marketplaces. They're not all going to survive. So you got to be careful. Bruce Wayne asks, how do you see the release of digital yuan, dollar, and now euro impact Bitcoin's value? Do you think it might steal some? No, I think it's going to add to it. I think it's going to introduce and 100% legitimize cryptocurrency, so the governments can't say anything bad about it. But you know what? Digital yuan, dollar, euro, whatever, they're still controlled by the government that is minting them. There's still going to be a fiat currency, just a digital version. There's still going to be monetary policy applied, and there's still going to be inflation. It's just going to be easier for countries to inflate. And people will realize that if you buy a digital dollar, it's not a store value. It's not going to increase in value because it's a dollar, right? So they're still going to look at alternative assets that they can buy that will go up in value. So I think it's just going to bring more attention to something like Bitcoin. Thoughts on audio? I do like audio a lot, especially, I don't know the collab with Deadmew5, a EDM guy, but I do know that audio or Audius has 3 million active users on there already that's listening to a platform without really even knowing that they're on a blockchain based platform. And what I really like is they're going to utilize, the platform to come out with NFTs with their artists. So I actually think Audius is a good one. See, that's a project that is decentralizing something that's very useful, something that's very used, and making a better version of it, right? So those are projects I love. There's so many right now, I gotta say, where it's like some kind of weird derivative DeFi synthetic thing that just not a whole lot of people will understand. And there's a lot of NFT marketplaces because it's hot, but when there's so many coming out, not everyone is gonna last, right? But like Audius is a project that I could get behind because it just makes a lot of sense and they have a lot of traction. Yeah, I looked at Clay. I'm gonna be honest, Coinbong. I looked at Clayton. I have not done a deep dive, but they're another promising blockchain that have come out of nowhere, and somehow they must have had a huge ICO or something to give them a 10 billion market cap right away. There had to have been some kind of ICO or something that really drove them up. Let's see. Well, this one says it hasn't even happened yet, but I don't know how they distribute the tokens then if it hasn't happened yet. Private sale ended. 90 million raised. Private sale. It was at 8 cents. 8 cents. And it's at $4 now. That's pretty darn good returns. I don't know if they had, apparently they didn't have ICO. But they have, it seems like they have a lot of partnerships, but you know what? I don't know if that's actually true. I don't know the team. It's very fascinating how this project got up so high, so fast. So I really have to dig into it, into like the team and so forth to see if they're really worth it. But in terms of growth potential, they're already a big cap. So I don't know how much room they have to grow. Can they get to Binance level? Maybe, but you know what? We gotta do some more research. I gotta do more research on them. How do you feel about BDT? Here's the thing, Jason. I honestly don't trust anything that's going on within the Tron ecosystem right now because I feel like they're very unnatural. You'll see like pump and dumps all the time. Tron really has no traction right now. I don't hear anything about them. I don't hear about any integration. So I know a lot of people's talking about BitTorrent pumping and it's, again, causing a lot of FOMO. I realize that, but there's really nothing fundamentally that's driving it. I don't see anything that's really driving it. So BitTorrent, just to clarify, not everything is illegal on BitTorrent. They have legitimized themselves as a company. They work with a lot of, like, say, game producers and stuff like that to distribute updates and downloads. So they are legit. But this whole notion about turning BTT into a file streaming platform or a decentralized storing platform or a video streaming platform, like all these things that Justin said that they were going to do, I don't hear about. I don't hear about it at all. So that's what concerns me. That's what's concerning about BDT, that this is just like one big pump and it could come back down. Decenter, relatively small. So I'm Polio next. Data is the new currency. Companies have been selling, okay. Returns the control data, okay. You return payable value assigned to the secure data you generate. Okay, so it's like basically, I guess if you do stuff, your data is yours, and then you could choose to sell it. I think that's how I'm taking that. It sounds a lot. It sounds like a lot like what Basic Attention Token is doing. Maybe to not this extent, but Basic Attention Token is all about, hey, if advertisers want to show you an ad, you get paid for that. Okay? Not like how Google and Google AdSense is, where basically you're forced to view an ad and you don't get paid for it. With BAT, if you opt in, you get paid for it. So it almost sounds like this is that realm. As force BAT has more traction, has a Brave browser, and a whole other things. So I'm going to say no. I think BAT is a better play. Filecoin. I've been saying a lot about Filecoin and how it's been pumping like crazy, mostly because they got added to Coinbase, and then they start flying from there. Is it Coinbase or Gemini Trust? I think it's Coinbase. No, it might be. It may be. No, I think it is Coinbase. But ever since then, it's been flying up, and I think it's just because people were FOMOing in, because it went up way high. They went up so much within a short amount of time. Right now, it's coming back down. In terms of decentralized plays, I think they're definitely the top dog. You can't go wrong with Filecoin now that it's a big cap if it could hold. But some of the smaller ones have been doing really well. You look at even Sidecoin's doing well, Storage is doing well. One that I really like is Arweave, and they're doing very well. So it's okay, but I like Arweave a lot better at this point. Osgun says, hey George, in terms of Audius, they are due to release another 120 million this month. How would that affect the price? I did have a good time, thank you. I have to look into it. I don't know if they're just releasing it, and if they're releasing it in terms of it's not being locked up anymore, that's fine. Doesn't mean that everyone's going to be dumping, right? But if they're releasing it for some other reason, some legitimate reason, that could also be good. So it just depends. It depends. A lot of times projects release and nothing happens. But if they do release and say the founders or whatever are selling off, then obviously it's going to have a big effect. So I got to pay more attention to it. Origin Trail, in terms of supply chain, I don't know. I think VeChain. I think VeChain is definitely the way to go if you want supply chain. Mana, you know what? I just saw something about Decentraland moving to Phantom, I believe, to get off of Ethereum. I think that's a smart move. You have to do it. So that's pretty good. What else is there? Yeah, so I like Mana. Decentraland is one of the ones I like. All the NFTs have been a little bit weak as of late, but glad to see that they're coming back. Someone asked about Rev and Sandbox and Limpo, all these guys under Animoca brands. I think they're gonna come back. And a lot of them is doing quite well, honestly. Chili's is still hanging at 50 cents. I think it should come back. It's just they had some problems recently with congestion, which is actually a good problem to have. And others in the NFT space, like Flow, I still want to see it be added to some good US-based exchanges, which hasn't happened yet, but it will. When do you expect a BTC ETF approval? I think sooner than later. I mean, honestly, the SEC can't really say no. Canada already did it. There's already three Bitcoin ETFs. So what's the reason, right? Jay Clayton is now out. So I think it's going to be coming sooner than later. Nervous Network, I don't know. A lot of people seem to ask about it, but I don't really find anything that really, intrigues me. They claim they have this CKB or whatever that can do token asset transfers between chains or something like that. I don't quite understand it, but reading upon it didn't really blow me away. So I'm just neutral on it. Rage Fan just released. I've seen some talk about it. Okay. Another NFT play, I'm guessing. Well, they're down 30%, so whoever's talking about them is not helping. But Merges AR NFT for gaming. Yeah, I'm not really big into AR, but I kind of guessed it. I don't know. I think it's too early. Gaming sold out in 8 minutes. Crazy. I missed that. I totally forgot about it. But yeah, that's another one that's under Animoca Brands. Supposedly that's gonna be the token within this app. I think it's called Gaming too, but do they even have it listed yet? Yeah, they don't have it listed yet. But yeah, that's one of the things that Yatsu said during my interview with him. I mean, Yatsu is actually a very smart guy. Very smart guy. Wabi. You know what? I don't think anything's going on with Wabi recently, but they have come up quite a bit. Obviously, they're in supply chain authenticity kind of play. They start out with baby foods, which is a big deal, making sure that there's no tampering. They move beyond that to cosmetics and other things, but they've been down obviously because of crypto winter and also because of pandemic. I would like to see them come back. I just don't know. I don't know anything else about it. Why don't I like Super Farm? Because first of all, I don't really like this concept of yield farming NFTs or yield NFT farming, whatever you call it. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me or interest me, and also I don't like how a lot of influencers are pumping it. So that always, gets me when everyone is trying to talk about a project. This Spidey sense or George sense, I should say, comes up. So I'm like, I gotta watch out for it. It could be totally legit and could do very well, but there's just too many people asking about it at this point. But also, I just don't get this whole yield NFT farming. Just seems like it's kind of a fad. What is comp token for Compound? Yeah, like Compound, Comp, and Uni, right? These are used as governance, for governance. So with Compound, I know they have it implemented pretty well. If there's something new that they want to implement, you could vote with Compound, with Comp, basically. So whether or not something gets approved or not, you could utilize it for that. That's primarily the reason for these governance tokens. Anything else? Flow. Salty, I already talked about Flow. Stop spamming. Blocknet, man, they were a project I supported a long time ago. They were coming out with their own decks. They were coming out with like a bridge, a DEX. I have no idea. I totally forgot about that project. I don't know what they're doing anymore. Toolkit for developers building decentralized storage solutions of tomorrow. Yeah, so they're like, I guess they've gone beyond a bridge. No, they still have a bridge. Yeah, I remember they were working on a bridge. So they have a bridge and a router that connects multi blockchains together, and the X-Bridge that, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of companies that does this now. I don't know if they can come back. And they're on Bittrex only. Let's go hold them back. Decentraland needs a PC game. Maybe. Maybe that's in the works. Do you think VET will make another all-time high today? Yeah, one of the things I'm noticing right now is a lot of smart contract plays. Anything that has a smart contract is going up. Obviously, Ethereum is one of them. Polkadot is another one. Cardano. Starting to move, not as much. But you go down the list and you'll see that VeChain, up 10%. I told you guys VeChain is going to be a top 10 coin, moving up and up and up. It's about to flip with Tron, which is really nice. Crypto.com, they're having another, they're having their chain soon. But look at EOS. I will not get on back on the EOS bandwagon because of Dan Learman leaving, but obviously they're being pumped up. Solana is being pumped up, right? But they have good reason. They're fantastic. Blockchain, you can see Cosmos, Tezos, Kusama, right? All smart contract plays, all going up. Hollow, another one. I have no idea why Hollow is pumping up recently. It could just be because it's a smart contract play again, but they're a DAG, not a blockchain. Neo, Algorand, Elrond, you know, every single like smart contract play is pretty much going up at this point. So pretty good. I have Etho. You mean ETH? Should I hold this out? Rewind this stream. VThor is also part of the VeChain ecosystem, dual token setup. All right, that's it, guys. That is it. Overall, Bitcoin is doing just fine, but Ethereum is doing a little bit better at this point. Although, if you look at the daily, now that I'm looking at it, the daily stochastic is topped out here, right? RSI is also pretty high, so be careful. But with that said, overall, I think Ethereum is doing just fine. There's a lot of things going for it. I mentioned a lot of them at the beginning of this video, so make sure you rewind. But how high can it go? Well, I think it could go a lot higher. I think it could go a lot higher because I think Bitcoin is going to go a lot higher. Bitcoin goes up 10x. Yeah, Ethereum could go 10x. If Bitcoin goes up 5x, it could go 5x. It could go even more than that because I think alts traditionally they go up faster, right? So I think ETH still has a lot of potential to go. Lastly, in case you guys didn't check this out, you know, I do still have my giveaway going, right? I have actually a surprise for you guys for this. So I'm going to build upon this. I told you guys I'm trying to get something going that will make the prizes even better. So right now it's just 5 ETH, but it could get a lot better. But just so you guys know, I shared this morning. I did add one more entry, which will give you +5, and that's to just simply check out my page about Georgecoin in case you didn't know I launched it. I did, and I do have a lot of use cases for it. So if you guys want to check that out, please do so, and you'll gain more entries as well. All right, until tomorrow, guys, have a good night. Take care. Bye-bye.